heavens is something to do with all the elements up there in the sky, somewhere beyond the earth, somewhere up there beyond the earth, regarding it could be the other planets and all. But it is not really says, it's not saying so in the book. All it says here is the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, in this regard, on whoever their message came from, I've made us understood from here that there's a heaven and there's the earth. Now, we have an idea then in this thing that there is some form of realm out there, up there somewhere, and we cannot tell what realm it is, but it is the glory of God. Okay, and the earth is the place where we are, where we, the physical living things, that we see each other, or we are visible to each other. We dwell and we live, and this is the earth. Okay, the place where I stand, where I am at the moment, it will be known as the earth. The heavens is up there, and whatever the heavens entails, I am not able to tell, neither does the book reveals that. But others have come up with their views and their own explanation of what the heavens is about. But the whole statement is revealing that God of the Bible created the heavens and created the earth. Now, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now, by hearing this statement here, it sort of reveals that even though God created the heavens and the earth, it says that the earth was without form and was void. It doesn't really say that there was nothing there in the space. Okay, all it says here that it was without form, it was without shape, and somehow God has to reinvent it. God has to create it. Now, the materials of the earth were all there. The issue here is consider the statements that not say that there was nothing in the universe. There was something in the universe. God was there. There were the elements, the tools, all the things that needed was there with him. Whether he created them, no, it doesn't say that. All it says that it was void. It was dark. It was all darkness. And there was a deep, there was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was just moving around, hovering all over the waters. There were even waters there. It was not like God created the waters or God created anything. God really used all his creative, imaginative mind to, out of the shapeless and darkness and void and the emptiness and all that was just lying idle, he turned it all into becoming something, and his power was exhibited in this sense. Now, when we get to this point of explanation, I want you to understand that the definition of God in the Christian perspective is omniscient. Now, omniscient is what? Knowing everything. That is God who is omniscient, a God who knows everything. Now, we should also remember that he is also known as the omnipotent God, a God having unlimited power. That is omnipotent God. Now, we also know that he is a creative God. That's a God who is very imaginative. His personality is very creative, imaginative. We also know him as Jehovah Jireh. These are a few names I could ask for us to have at the back of your mind as we approach. He's also known as a God, Jehovah Jireh. Now, God Jehovah Jireh also is used to sort of define him as the Lord who provides. The Lord will provide, a provider who provides for us. So we have these definitions to know who he is. So when it comes to chapter 2, verse 2 of chapter 1, it says, the earth was without form and void. Okay, and the deep and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Okay, it was without form and void, left like that. It was without form. There was no shape. It was left like that. And there was darkness all over and on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And there was water. There was water there. Water was right there. And the Spirit was hovering all over the waters. So the materials had to be put together by God in this regard. So this is what was going on at that moment. Let us be very clear here. The statement is there. I have not put anything in there, and I have not taken anything out. I've only explained the verse. I've only explained the verse that is being stated, the phrase that is there. I've only explained the English that has been put there according to the standard today, how we understand the English to be. So I have put nothing in, neither have I taken anything out. And in the sense that, in the phrase that I have explained, we are talking of, the omnipotency of God. The omnipotency of God was exhibited in this regard, because as we continue in verse 3, the God said, let there be light. He was then exhibiting or displaying his omnipotency. His omnipotency, that is his unlimited power, was being exhibited in these grounds to reach out to people, to reach out to his work, to show what his imaginative ideas were by giving breath to trees, by making the commands and orders, and everything was being done just by displaying his ability. That is who he was, the omnipotent God. The omnipotent God was displaying his omnipotency, and that is where, if you go to verse 3, then God said, let there. If you go to verse 6, then God said, let there. And go to 9, then God said, let there. And you go to 11, God said, let there. Let there be that. Let there be that. And when he call out, that is whatever he call out, whatever he wishes, whatever he imagined to be, that thing comes into being. And then God said in verse 14, let there be light, and there was light. Let the waters go here, and the waters go there. Let the earth or the trees come here, and then that happens. Whatever he says, his power was in display. And then it goes, God sat, and then in verse 17, God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth. Now God was still in display. If you go to verse 20, then God said, let the waters bound of the... All that was about God displaying his power, showing his ability. His name is being sort of... as the name has been shown, is being demonstrated here in all the in the chapter 1, all through the verses of 20 and 24, continue 25, and God said, let them make. And then in 26 he says, then God said, let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over. It is all these times where God was creating you and I. He was exhibiting his omnipotency, and that is what I view. In my view, that is what I am viewing here, that he was doing in this regard. And it goes on to